Welcome back, everyone. If you own a pool, you know there is literally nothing more frustrating than watching your water level drop day by day and having absolutely no idea why. So today, we're turning you into a backyard forensic investigator. This explainer is going to be your definitive step-by-step diagnostic guide to solving mysterious pool water loss. We're looking at the data, we're using proven professional methods, and we're going to solve this mystery once and for all.
Okay, let's dive into this, because before we grab our shovels and totally panic about broken underground pipes, we have to ask a really fundamental question. Is your pool actually leaking, or is the environment just playing tricks on you? We need to completely rule out the environment before we do anything else. To do exactly that, we're following this investigator's checklist. First, evaporation or actual leak. Second, the pool bucket test. Third, isolating the leak's location. Fourth, advanced visual testing methods. Fifth, the multiport valve suspect. And finally, real-world valve troubleshooting. Let's get to it. Starting with phase 1, evaporation or actual leak. We really need to understand how easily nature can trick us here. Evaporation depends heavily on all sorts of environmental conditions. We're talking wind speed, water temperature, the dew point, barometric pressure, and yeah, good old-fashioned splash out from people jumping in. Because these factors fluctuate so much, your evaporation rate can vary drastically from week to week. That makes Mother Nature the very first suspect we need to interrogate before you go spending a single dime on repairs.
Which brings us to phase 2, the pool bucket test.
So how do we actually prove it's just evaporation? Well, I'm going to introduce you to the absolute most definitive way to separate natural water loss from a real structural issue. We owe this methodology to the experts over at Prestige Pools and Spas. And honestly, the brilliance of this test is just in its simplicity. By using a bucket of water, you're basically creating a control group. You're exposing a small, contained body of water to the exact same environmental conditions as the pool itself.
Here's exactly how you do it. Step 1, bring your pool up to its normal level, then fill an empty bucket with pool water to about an inch from the top. Step 2, place that bucket right on the first or second step of the pool. You can weigh it down with a brick if you need to. Step 3, mark the water level inside the bucket, and then mark the pool water level on the outside of the bucket. Then, you just wait 24 hours. The logic here is completely bulletproof. If the outside pool water recedes faster than the inside bucket water, then, well, congratulations, sort of. You've officially confirmed an actual leak.
Moving on to step 3, isolating the leak's location.
Now, what's really interesting about this next step is how we figure out exactly where the leak is hiding. This diagnostic matrix is going to be your best friend. If you run the bucket test twice, once with the pump running for 24 hours, and then once with the pump off for 24 hours, you basically create strict logic gates. If you lose more water with the pump on, your suspect is the pressurized return line. But if you lose more with the pump off, you'll want to suspect the suction side, like the skimmer or the main drain. And if the water loss is exactly the same either way, you can eliminate the plumbing entirely. That means your leak is somewhere in the pool shell, the liner, or the fittings.
Next up, step 4, advanced visual testing methods.
Once we've narrowed down the general neighborhood of the leak, it's time for the forensic phase to pinpoint the exact hole. For plumbing suspects, you can use the dye test. You just inject specialized red pool testing dye in your fittings or valves. If there's a leak, you'll literally see the dye get sucked right into the hole, pointing it out for you. For structural leaks, you should always check the hydrostatic relief valve on the main drain. It's a mechanical valve that wears out over time and is a super common culprit. And get this, here's a really surprising fact. If your pool is empty and you suspect a crack somewhere, just sponge some soap over it. If there's a leak letting air through, the soap will bubble up exactly like chewing gum. On to step 5, the multiport valve suspect. Let's shift our focus over to the equipment pad. There's one specific piece of equipment that is a notorious hiding spot for mysterious water loss, the 6-way filtration valve. Deep inside this valve is a component called the spider gasket. It's basically a star-shaped rubber seal that critically separates and directs all the different water flows. Now, because this gasket lives in a highly aggressive environment filled with harsh chlorine and constant pressure changes, it's incredibly prone to hardening, cracking, and just ultimately failing.
So how do you know if your spider gasket has gone rogue? You want to watch for a few key symptoms. The most obvious one is pool water constantly trickling out of your waistline, completely bypassing the pool. You might also notice sand shooting back into the pool, a handle that feels weirdly loose or stiff, or worst of all, dirty backwash water mixing right back in with your clean water. Industry experts actually recommend replacing this gasket every 1 to 2 years just as a standard maintenance step.
And finally, step 6, real-world valve troubleshooting.
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when the obvious fix just doesn't work.
Let's look at a real-world case study from the r/swimming pools Reddit community. Just listen to this frustrating anecdote from user Nut311. They did exactly what we just talked about. They saw water coming out of the waistline, put in the hard work to replace the spider gasket, and yet the water just kept leaking out. This perfectly grounds our explainer in reality, right? Because even after you replace the prime suspect, the mystery can still persist. So what do we do next? Well, the Reddit community quickly pointed out that if a brand new gasket doesn't fix the leak, you've got secondary mechanical failures preventing a tight seal. For instance, you might have a warped rotor on the key cover. There could be a microscopic hairline crack in the valve body itself. Or, it could be as simple as a worn-out handle spring that just doesn't have the strength to compress that gasket down anymore. When faced with this kind of headache, users often debate two popular workarounds. User Steven the Reeker proposed either gluing the gasket down so it literally can't move, or just installing a manual ball valve straight onto the waistline. With the ball valve, you simply open it when you need to backwash and close it when you're filtering, physically blocking the leak. But hold on, a huge warning here. User Tespaz chimed in with a crucial tip regarding that first fix. Standard superglue contains cyanoacrylate, which chemically reacts with and actually melts the plastics used in these valves. No way you want that. If you're going to adhere the gasket, you absolutely must use a removable industrial sealant, like the ones made by 3M, to avoid totally destroying your equipment. But what was actually happening to our original user Nut318? Well, the thrilling conclusion was neither a bad spring nor a cracked valve. The true culprit was a clog way down a 100-foot sloped waistline in their yard. When the water tried to drain, it created one single PSI of vacuum back pressure. That tiny bit of suction was literally pulling the brand new spider gasket out of its seat from below. When they finally cut the pipe, they actually heard a suction noise as the vacuum was released. Crazy, right? So the crucial point is captured perfectly by user Shakadin. While slapping a ball valve on the waistline stopped the visible leak, it was really just a band-aid. Why? Well, because if the multiport valve isn't sealing tight enough to stop a leak to the waistline, it is absolutely still allowing dirty water to bypass the filter and mix right back in with your clean pool water inside the valve body. Which leaves us with this final thought. When you're out there looking at your pool equipment and diagnosing a drop in water, are you just treating the symptoms, or have you actually solved the root cause of the mystery? By following this diagnostic funnel from the bucket test to pressure isolation all the way down to valve mechanics, you are completely empowered to fix it right the first time. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and good luck with your DIY backyard detective work.